On today's episode of Watch Chair Go, we jump back on the 65 F100 and maybe start it. What is going on, guys? I am Watch Chair Go, and today we are here with the 65 F100. As you saw in yesterday's episode, this is basically where we're at, and today we have to change the cam gear that's driving the distributor and also plumb a return, and I think we're just going to use the tank behind the bed because that's what we've got to deal with right now, and we can't get a new one anytime soon. What's up here, Josh? What are you thinking?
Just going to get that cam gear on the distributor.
You went ahead and bolted it down.
I bolted the carb down, tightened up all the fuel lines.
I like it.
It needs a regulator.
So I just need to feed you some fuel line.
Because it's a return style.
I like how you put the gauge from the rolls on it.
So yeah, a little flare.
Here's what we got to deal with. There's the sender. Wow, I thought it was right here. That's even easier. All we have to do is poke a hole right there, pull those bolts out, and put our bulkhead fittings on, and then I have to drill another hole right here about where the fuel supply is, and that's where I'll bring the return up into the tank. Just finished getting the mechanical fuel pump off. It's just 2 bolts, but of course it's not exactly easy to get to because it's buried under the power steering pump and all that good stuff. Got it out, ready to put the block off plate in. There's our block off plate right there. It's unfortunate that it's chrome. I wish I could paint it black or something, but nothing we can do about that, obviously. Here you can see my pile of junk that is coming off. The old lines from the hard lines are out, and the tank's out, and man, we're rocking and rolling. Oh, we pulled this tank too. We thought we were gonna use it, but it was pretty gross, and the cinder had collapsed. Here is the cinder out of the fuel tank. There's no float, of course, which would explain why it just sits at the bottom. The cinder itself is good, it just needs a float, but since the holder is rotten, we're gonna have to replace the whole thing. Now, time to install the block off plate, and I can finish getting the rubber fuel lines in and hide all those. I also ran and picked up the ball kit, which will let us put the quick disconnect throttle back on. Had to go pick up those throttle balls like I showed you guys, and now we're testing the throttle. You ready?
Yep.
That's all the way on the floor.
You got 100%.
Is it?
Yep.
Dead on?
Yep.
Oh, we don't have a return spring. Okay.
Soft?
Very soft. It's sketchy soft.
Got a built-in spring. Like on my Mustang, I didn't
trust that.
Didn't feel like enough?
No, it's very questionable. So adding the throttle return spring real quick, as you guys can see, it looks like the cable hooked right up with the new ball.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hook this up.
I know, because it's like a weird angle for it, isn't it?
The linkage is gonna be in the way.
About to find out. Oh, that kind of worked. I love how it has an adjustable return spring thing. I bet that's a monster now.
I bet that works.
Yep, let me try that. Oh yeah, it snaps back up. Snappy. Well, that's all it took to have the perfect throttle pedal. Super awesome. And now we're missing trans kick down, but that's gonna be, that's a whole nother thing.
Have welder can travel, but maybe we should just buy.
I'm very down to buy
something.
So it's just a nice single piece.
Yeah.
Well, the top of the engine is looking really good. Now I need to show you guys underneath the engine because the block off plate is on where the fuel pump used to live, and I've almost got the fuel line all the way back to the filter. I got just a little bit more, one bracket to get through here. Here's the old fuel line. I'm gonna pull that still. There is that block off plate with new stainless hardware, all stainless everything, and it's sealed up really well. Right there, that's where the fuel pump used to live. Pretty happy with how that turned out for being chrome. Grinding away up here in the engine bay, as you can see, we've got the relay and the fuse mounted for the Sniper, flipped the fog light relay over, because it kind of cleaned all that up and let me put it on one stud. So I'm gonna hide the fuel pump wire now, and then tape up the main power wires for this thing, and all that's left is ignition switched. There are a few more things because I gotta use this coil driver, but it shouldn't take too much longer. I'm just trying to make sure all the wires are basically completely hidden. That's really the goal here, is getting really sneaky with the wiring. Josh went through and cleaned up all the spark plug wires, and they look incredible. I love it. There's so many looms to make it look really, really nice. PCV's rerouted. It's gonna look good. Really simple, I think. I'm so ready to hear it run. We don't have the new gear on the distributor yet, so the one thing we don't know is if we are gonna be able to start it right now because we gotta change gears. Let's take a quick second to answer a few questions. No, I haven't ruined anything. I haven't affected the value of the truck. And no, I don't want a carburetor on the truck. So that pretty much, I think that answers most of them. If the truck didn't have EFI, it would go back to sitting for years at a time probably. And now that it does have EFI, it'll get driven by more people than just me because I can drive the thing. So now it's a good, reliable vehicle. And another thing, it's not gonna be the tow pig. I have the Titan for that. And it's not made to be pulling trailers around, car trailers with trailers loaded on them and all that stuff. Sure, it can do it, no problem. It'll have all the torque, but that's not what it's gonna get used for, so I'll keep another truck around for it. Might use it every once in a while, but not for like, you know, production, moving cars around duty. Second, it looks like a carburetor. Once this is all done, there's almost no difference. It looks really close to the same. It's kind of the whole point of the Stealth. It looks like a big old 4-barrel, and all the, you know, almost every single wire in the thing is hidden. And of course, all of my wire is getting hidden as well as it can be hidden too. Yes, there is RTV around the intake. There's a 1/4-inch bead that Edelbrock recommends. It runs all the way around both sides there, front and back that is, and then it swishes out. You get the squeeze out when you're tightening it down. There is a 1/4-inch bead of ultra black on front and rear to make sure that seals up because we couldn't use the cork gaskets. And the final, most important thing apparently is the valve covers. Yeah, we'll paint them in the future. I want it to be that light color. It looks really cool with the aluminum and with the Ford blue. There's a little bit of it left that's out on the block there. Every once in a while you can see a hint of that nice deep blue. I like the light blue, and I think it needs to stay. I'm just gonna put that back whenever I figure it out. Some people mentioned it might be a Pontiac color, so maybe we'll go for that. Now, back to wiring. Let's get this thing running. I went and grabbed the special tool that should let me depin this harness. I'm gonna get rid of all the wires that I don't need to try to make this look even cleaner. So we're starting with this coil negative input right there. So I should be able to slide the pin tool in here just like that. And it should release and the wire should come out. I think it actually is loose. There we go. And I'll put a filler in there and then slide this back, and that'll let us have a perfectly clean wiring harness that only has power, ground. This is fuel pump relay. This is the distributor. And that's the fuel pump wire coming back from the relay. So that is what the main harness looks like after you depin the things you're not using. This is going to the ignition still, fuel pump, and that connector goes to the distributor. So very, very simple, and all of this stuff should all be hidden way behind that thing. If everything works as planned, we'll zip tie all that up in like a really compact bundle, hide it up under there. You'll never see any of this again. I think it's about time to catch you guys up. The wiring, I've been cranking on the wiring, and here are, I haven't hooked these two up. I think they're gonna be the last thing I do. Put ring terminals on positive and negative, but you can't even tell those are there. There's the relay and the fuse for the fuel pump, of course. All of the wires are completely hidden. This is the coil driver. It'll tuck in there, and I'll probably loom those wires to make them disappear. Coil's hooked back up with the Holley Sniper EFI coil driver. We pulled the Sun tack driver box off, and I'm deciding what to do. Sun makes a reproduction that just works, you don't have to mess with it, but these old Sun tack drivers have mercury batteries in them, as you can see. That mercury battery is completely toast there. It's covered in battery acid, and of course dangerous because it's based on mercury, and it also destroyed everything inside the tack box here. So I can clean that. I might just get in there and start ripping off as much of the corrosion as I can with that wire brush. I've heard you can stick a AA in this thing, a lithium AA, and it'll last pretty long, like about a year, 2 years before you have to take it back apart. It's incredibly hard to get this thing off the fender because it's on like deck screws that were screwed into it, and they work, but it's not the best thing ever. I can replace these wires while we're in there and hide them a little better. That's the ground and the distributor input into the tack driver. From the tack driver, there's 2 more wires that go inside, and that's how the old school Sun Pro tack works. Sun Pro makes a reproduction that's exactly the same, almost exactly the same, and it looks pretty good. It would mount right back on the wheel, and you probably wouldn't know the difference. I know that like a lot of guys think it's a big deal to keep the Sun tack driver. Obviously, it's just a giant failure point that has to be worked on all the time in reality. So far though, I'd say that's looking pretty clean. Inside the truck, I have everything wired up. My switched ignition is in there, and my, I'll show you guys the Sniper driver. Oh, and Josh was out here and changed that driver side exhaust gasket that was leaking. So the exhaust leak's gone. Fuel system completely together, terminated, pump power is on. All I have left in here, there's the ground, and this connects to the Holley. I haven't ran that wire yet. That's the points output from the 8-pin on the Holley. That's basically it. There's like 5 wires that actually matter in this thing. Here's the tack I'm talking about right there, that old school Sun tack. Definitely not a big deal to swap it to the reproduction and it would look the same, but I kind of just don't want to even mess with it. So that's why I was thinking about fixing the Sun box. I'll probably put AA's in it and see if it works. Let's hop under the dash and I'll show you the coil driver. If you look way up in there, there is the Holley coil driver. It is tiny. The pink wire is switched ignition. So it is hooked up to the ignition where the Holley is as well. And I just have to throw a ground on here, which is this one. I just have to add a ring terminal real fast, a couple seconds of work, and one more wire, and the system is technically complete. Also the touchscreen, I think it's chilling right there. The touchscreen actually looks pretty at home right there. It's out of the way and I can make it disappear by sliding it behind the intercom to not see it at all. And I can quickly look down and have all of the gauges. I can know everything about the truck, way more than the actual gauges could ever show me. I do think I'm gonna leave the Sniper right there. It's out of the way, and functionality wise, it's perfect. That just about wraps up everything inside the truck. Really, we're ready to start it other than stabbing the distributor and some kind of fuel tank. We're gonna run on a gas can tomorrow because it's time to start this thing. Yes, I could depin this connector too and just use the 2 wires I'd like to have out of it, points and tack driver, but instead there's things in here like AC kick and E-fan control, all kinds of cool stuff. You can take all this stuff in the software and use it to do whatever you want as long as they're ground triggers and stuff. So I'm just going to tape this all up so it looks factory, and then we'll sneakily route it with all the other wires and run it right under the dash, and I'll just dump it out in there. And in the future, if I want to use any of it, I can just uncoil all the wires I'm not using and hook up whatever we need. So I'm going to finish lubing this up with the electrical tape. You can see how I'm doing it right there, and I'll run it all the way to the end and we'll pull it inside and see what we need. As you know, I can't help myself. I went ahead and temporarily hooked up the power to the Holley real quick. I'll hide that tomorrow. It's the last part, but we got to turn it on for the first time. I love this part. It makes me so happy to see a car come back to life with proper technology, and it also makes me happy when the keys are in the ignition, but they're not. Ooh, now I got the keys and we can turn it on for the first time. Obviously nothing's gonna happen, but we will see the touchscreen start up and the initial setup screen here. So here we go. The coil driver has one more thing that needs hooked up too. Make sure those wires are clear. They are. All right, here we go. Something is wrong. I wonder if it's the main power connection. I didn't hear a pump run. Try number 2. I checked the battery connection. Ah, there we go. Wizard. Select Sniper TBI 4150 550 871 4 injector Sniper 4150. Next, 8-cylinder. Man, too bad it's not a 4-cylinder. That sounds cool. Type in clear 390. Save. Next, idle speed. We'll start off with like, I want a slow idle, but for now, let's just set it at like, come on, it's kind of hard to do this. We'll just put 800. Cam, stock, power adder, nothing yet. I mean, what? Holley dual sync distributor, wide open throttle ignition timing, 30, I don't know. We'll go ahead and set this to 30 to start with. Save. The whole reason we have that dual sync distributor is so we can control timing from the Holley, which is unbelievable. It's so much better than normal distributors with just a, you know, an advance. That should be everything. Next, start. Fuel pump runs. Please cycle the ignition. Okay, I will. Finish. As you can see, this thing is kind of hiding inside there. We can hit monitor, multi-gauge, and dash 1, and we'll have lots of data, even though dash 1 is just all data. There we go. Vitals looks a lot better. There we've got attack, coolant temp, everything cool. I'm sure I'll end up hiding the touchscreen when we're not using it, but I am so happy with this install. You can't even tell it's here, and once that air cleaner goes on, it'll just look like a big 4-barrel carb, and it'll run so much better than any 4-barrel carb. So I am super, super happy. We can adjust fueling just sitting here in the seat. We can adjust timing just sitting here in the seat. It's perfect, and we can even turn up the timing a little. I kicked it off at 30 to start with. We might even turn it up a little bit more. It'll probably hold a little timing. I mean, we could probably run premium and have race truck, but I don't need that. I just want it to start the second you breathe on the key. and I'm happy. You can disappear the touchscreen by just sliding it behind the intercom. Can't even tell it exists. I better manage that wire. It's the last one. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm so pumped about this truck, and hopefully it starts tomorrow, as long as we get all this distributor stuff figured out. And there was a few O'Reilly's orders from today that they were figuring out, fuel cinder and stuff like that, so we can figure out what we're gonna do with that tank. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I was saying, don't forget to head on over to shopwatchjrgo.com where you can get cool shirts like this. And please, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you wanna do, and I will talk to you next time. The done for the night switch. Oh yeah, there's the old exhaust gasket, the leaky one. You can tell a little bit of a problem with that thing.